Saithal custom suffering story. Number of steps. 1. In the tranquil village of Saithal, nestled amidst rolling hills and lush greenery, Vidwan, a valiant young man, and Ravitri, a spirited young woman, were bound by the age-old customs of their community. The Saithal people, known for their reverence of tradition, adhered to a strict code of conduct that governed every aspect of their lives. Vidwan, a skilled blacksmith, toiled tirelessly day in and day out to craft the finest weapons and tools for his fellow villagers. His strength and craftsmanship were well respected, yet he carried a burden deep within him. Ravitri, on the other hand, possessed a rare gift of healing, passed down through generations. She spent her days tending to the ill and wounded, using age-old remedies and the wisdom of her ancestors. The Saithal custom demanded that Vidwan and Ravitri remain unmarried to fulfill their roles in the community. Love was a luxury they couldn't afford, as their hearts were bound to their responsibilities. They longed for each other silently, their connection deepening with every stolen glance and unspoken word. Suffering, in the form of their unfulfilled love, cast a shadow over Saithal. The story of Vidwan and Ravitri was just beginning, and the weight of tradition threatened to suffocate the desires of their hearts. Number of steps. 2. As the seasons passed in Saithal, Vidwan's and Ravitri's secret affection for each other continued to grow stronger. Their hearts ached with the longing to be together, yet the customs of their village were unforgiving. The Saithal elders were steadfast in their belief that adherence to tradition was essential to maintain the village's way of life. One fateful evening, a great calamity befell the village. A deadly illness swept through Saithal, afflicting young and old alike. The villagers turned to Ravitri for her healing abilities, but her powers alone could not save everyone. Vidwan's blacksmith skills were called upon to forge tools to aid in the fight against the illness. The suffering in the village deepened, and the unspoken love between Vidwan and Ravitri only intensified. As they worked side by side to combat the plague, their connection grew more evident to those around them. Whispers and rumors spread like wildfire. The Saithal elders, fearing a disruption of their customs and traditions, convened to discuss the situation. They faced a dilemma. To save their village from the disease, they would have to acknowledge the bond between Vidwan and Ravitri and reconsider their strict customs. The fate of Saithal now hung in the balance, and Vidwan and Ravitri's love had become the catalyst for change. Part 3 will reveal the decisions made and the consequences that follow. How would you like to continue the story? Number of steps. 3. The Saithal elders found themselves at a crossroads. The suffering of their people was undeniable, and it was clear that both Vidwan's blacksmith skills and Ravitri's healing abilities were crucial in combating the deadly illness. As a result, they had to acknowledge the bond between Vidwan and Ravitri. Reluctantly, the elders decided to amend the strict customs that had bound the two lovers. Vidwan and Ravitri were allowed to marry, their union symbolizing the blending of tradition and necessity. The village celebrated their love with a grand ceremony. Their marriage brought new hope to Saithal. Together, Vidwan and Ravitri worked tirelessly to heal the afflicted and forge tools that would aid in the fight against the disease. The village slowly began to recover, but the scars of their customs and the suffering they had endured were not easily forgotten. The changes in Saithal were met with mixed reactions. Some embraced the idea of evolving customs to adapt to the times, while others clung to tradition, fearing that their way of life was slipping away. Vidwan and Ravitri's love story had ignited a transformation in Saithal. Their devotion to each other and their people had forever altered the path of the village, forcing them to reevaluate their customs in the face of adversity. The journey of Vidwan, Ravitri, and the people of Saithal was far from over. What lies ahead for them in this evolving tale? If you'd like to continue their story or explore any other aspect, please let me know. Number of steps. 4. In the wake of the changes brought about by Vidwan and Ravitri's marriage, Saithal found itself at a crossroads between preserving tradition and embracing adaptation. While some villagers welcomed the new direction, others remained staunch in their loyalty to age-old customs, resisting change at every turn. Vidwan and Ravitri's love story had inspired a generation of Saithal's youth to challenge the boundaries of tradition and explore the possibilities of a more flexible way of life. They were no longer content to blindly adhere to customs that didn't serve the greater good. The tension in the village grew, leading to heated debates and divisions among the residents. Elders and traditionalists clashed with the younger generation, who sought to find a balance between honoring their heritage and responding to the changing world. As Saithal grappled with these internal struggles, a new external challenge emerged. The neighboring villages, who had long been wary of Saithal's isolationist customs, saw the opportunity to exploit the village's vulnerability. They began to encroach on Saithal's resources and lands, threatening their way of life. Vidwan and Ravitri found themselves once again at the center of the village's fate, this time as leaders who had to make crucial decisions to protect their home. They faced difficult choices, as they tried to bridge the gap between the old and the new while safeguarding the village from external threats. The story of Saithal, Vidwan, and Ravitri continued to evolve, as they navigated the delicate balance between tradition, adaptation, and the challenges of a changing world. Would you like to see how this story unfolds further, or is there a particular aspect you'd like to explore in more detail? Number of steps. 5. Vidwan and Ravitri's leadership in the face of external threats was tested as never before. They had to find a way to unite the village, bridging the gap between tradition and adaptation. Saithal's survival depended on their ability to navigate these challenges. Together, they initiated a series of village meetings where both the elders and the youth could voice their concerns. It was a difficult process, filled with heated debates and impassioned arguments, but it was a necessary step toward reconciliation. Gradually, a consensus began to form. The elders recognized that some customs needed to be reevaluated to protect the village's future. Simultaneously, the younger generation acknowledged the importance of preserving the wisdom and heritage of their ancestors. The compromise involved adapting customs that were clearly outdated while preserving the core values and traditions that defined Saithal. This newfound unity allowed them to present a strong front against the encroaching neighboring villages. Vidwan's blacksmith skills were put to the test once again as he forged alliances with neighboring communities to secure resources and protect Saithal's borders. Ravitri's healing knowledge was used to mend not only the sick but also wounded relations within the village. With their combined efforts, Saithal not only defended itself from external threats but also began to thrive. The village flourished, embracing the best of its traditions while remaining open to new ideas and opportunities. Vidwan and Ravitri's love story had transformed Saithal from a place of suffering into a symbol of resilience, adaptability, and unity. Their legacy became a source of inspiration for generations to come, proving that love, when met with courage and determination, could indeed change the course of history. And so, the story of Saithal, Vidwan, and Ravitri continued, with a bright future that held the promise of a harmonious coexistence between the old and the new. If you'd like to explore any specific aspect of the story further or have any other requests, please feel free to let me know. Number of steps. 6. Of course, let's move on to part 6 of the Saithal custom suffering story. As the years passed, Saithal's transformation continued. The village, once bound by strict customs, had now become a beacon of change and adaptation, a model for neighboring communities to follow. The balance between tradition and progress had become the hallmark of Saithal's success. Vidwan and Ravitri had not only brought about change within Saithal but also became parents to a new generation. Their children, a testament to the union of their love, grew up in a village where they were encouraged to embrace both the wisdom of the past and the possibilities of the future. The custom that had once kept Vidwan and Ravitri apart was now seen as a symbol of their resilience. Saithal's story was shared far and wide, serving as a reminder that the strength of a community lay not in its stubborn adherence to customs but in its ability to adapt and grow while respecting its heritage. As Vidwan and Ravitri watched their children flourish and their village thrive, they knew that the suffering they had endured had ultimately led to a brighter future for Saithal. Love, coupled with the determination to bring about change, had triumphed over tradition. The story of Saithal, Vidwan, and Ravitri serves as an enduring reminder that customs and traditions should serve the well-being and progress of a community, and that love has the power to transform even the most inflexible of beliefs. If you have any further requests or if there's another aspect of the story you'd like to explore, please let me know. Number of steps. 7. Years passed, and the legacy of Vidwan and Ravatry lived on in Saithal. The village remained a testament to the power of unity, adaptability, and the ability to honor its heritage while embracing the future. The story of Saithal had traveled far and wide, becoming a source of inspiration for other communities facing similar challenges. Villages near and far sought Saithal's counsel on how to balance their own customs and progress. This newfound role as peacemakers and advisors was a testament to the wisdom Saithal had gained. Vidwan and Ravatry grew old together, their love as enduring as the village they had helped to shape. Their love story became folklore, a symbol of love's ability to conquer adversity and transform the most rigid of traditions. As they looked back on their journey, they knew that the suffering they had endured had led to a life richer in love, wisdom, and a deep sense of community. Saithal had evolved into a place where customs were respected but not allowed to hold back progress, and where love and unity thrived. The story of Saithal, Vidwan, and Ravatry was a testament to the power of love, the strength of community, and the human capacity to adapt and change while honoring tradition. If you'd like to explore more about the later years of Vidwan and Ravatry or any other aspect of this story, please feel free to let me know. Number of steps. 8. In their later years, Vidwan and Ravatry continued to be pillars of strength and wisdom in Saithal. Their children and grandchildren had inherited their commitment to the village's well-being, ensuring that the legacy of change and adaptation persisted. Vidwan, though aged, remained a respected blacksmith, passing down his skills to the younger generations. The weapons and tools he crafted were no longer just for survival but also for trade with neighboring villages, cementing Saithal's reputation as a center of craftsmanship. Ravatry, too, continued her role as the village's healer, sharing her knowledge with apprentices and tending to the needs of the sick and injured. She had become a revered figure not only in Saithal but also among neighboring communities that sought her expertise. As the years passed, the customs of Saithal continued to evolve. The balance between tradition and adaptation remained the cornerstone of the village's way of life. Vidwan and Ravatry's love story, once a symbol of suffering and transformation, had now become a beacon of hope for countless others. Vidwan and Ravatry's love, which had defied tradition, had paved the way for a community that embraced change when necessary while preserving its heritage. Their story was celebrated in festivals, songs, and storytelling, serving as a constant reminder of the enduring power of love and resilience. The Saithal custom suffering story had come full circle, showing that even in the face of the strictest customs and deepest suffering, love and the willingness to adapt could bring about lasting change. If you have any specific requests or if there's another aspect of this story you'd like to explore, please feel free to let me know. Number of steps. 9. As Vidwan and Ravatry reached the twilight of their lives, their love remained as unwavering as the mountains that surrounded Saithal. They had not only built a thriving and adaptable village but also a lasting legacy of love and resilience. Their children and grandchildren, who had inherited the spirit of change and unity, continued to ensure that Saithal thrived. The customs and traditions of the village had become a harmonious blend of the old and the new, evolving with the times without losing their essence. Vidwan and Ravatry were now the village's beloved elders, sought after not only for their wisdom but also for their enduring love story. They had become storytellers in their own right, sharing the tale of Saithal's transformation and the power of love to conquer adversity. In their presence, the village held an annual celebration, where the community came together to honor Vidwan and Ravatry, and to reflect on the remarkable journey of Saithal. The festivities were a reminder of the village's past suffering, the transformations it had undergone, and the unbreakable bond between its two greatest heroes. Vidwan and Ravatry's love story, once marked by suffering and defiance of custom, had now become the heart of Saithal, a symbol of what love, courage, and adaptability could achieve. With this, we conclude the Saithal custom suffering story. If you have any more requests, want to explore other stories, or have questions, feel free to let me know. Number of steps. 10. As Vidwan and Ravatry peacefully lived out their remaining years in Saithal, they found comfort in the knowledge that the village they had helped transform was in capable hands. Their legacy of love, resilience, and adaptability had become an indelible part of Saithal's identity. When their time came, Vidwan and Ravitri passed away within days of each other, their love for one another so profound that they couldn't bear to be apart, even in death. The entire village mourned their loss, but they also celebrated the enduring spirit of love that Vidwan and Ravitri had shared. Their memory was preserved through tales, songs, and monuments erected in their honor. Saithal had transitioned from a place of strict customs and suffering into a vibrant, adaptable community, a testament to what could be achieved through the courage to embrace change and the power of love. The end of the Saithal Custom Suffering story. If you'd like to continue with a Saithal Custom Suffering story season 2 inches or explore another storyline, please let me know, and we can embark on a new adventure.